You are listening to Realign Your Life podcast, where I discuss with you strategies on how to realign your life and move towards the direction you always want to. I am Vivian, the host of this podcast, and every week I will bring value on how to improve and realign your life either through a guest or my thoughts. I can't wait to share what we have this week. It's time to realign your life. Well, welcome to episode 2 of Realign Your Life. I'm your host for this show, Vivian. And today we are going to discuss when you think it's time to realign your life. What are some of the signs? What are some of the things that are going on that puts up that red flag that, hey, it's time to realign your life? I really hope you enjoyed episode number 1, where we talked about what realignment of your life was all about. And I do hope that you took the time to really look at what are my core values? What is really important to me in this life? So when it's time to realign your life, you will definitely know that it is time. How? How will you know? There would be that feeling and that longing inside, deep inside you, that uncomfortable sense that there is absolutely something more for me, and that I'm not moving, or I'm not going at my full capacity. There is more. So what are some of these signs that may be indicative that it's time for a realignment? So here are a couple of indicators that you might want to consider in realigning your life. First of all, you no longer find fulfillment in your job or in your occupation. You aren't excited to go to work anymore. You dread it. You dread Sunday night because you know you got to prep for the next day to get out there, or you don't want to get out of bed. You begin to find fault in everybody and everything that goes on the job. And you don't want to contribute, or you don't want to volunteer. And you get that nasty, nasty feeling in the pit of your stomach. Well, it might be time for you to realign your life. You are feeling anxious and unsettled. There is a gnawing feeling that you have more to contribute, but not quite sure how to identify what is missing. But you know it's something. You can't even express it. You don't know how to express it. So maybe that is an indication that it's time to realign your life. You're overwhelmed that there are 1,000 things to get done and absolutely not enough time to get it all in. You feel like a burden is on you, that you feel like a hamster that's going around and around and around in circles and really getting nowhere. So maybe it's time to realign your life. You're tired and exhausted. There is no energy. There's no enjoyment in life. That your vitality is not there anymore. So we become so overextended that, and we mount all of these activities that are bringing you no satisfaction at all, or not empowering you, but you are simply just exhausted. We work ourselves until we crash and burn. And you know what? That happens so many times for us. We stay in a situation much longer than we should, and we get burnt out. We must preserve ourselves by aligning and focus more on being rather than doing. Because I know we can get really, really busy in life. And just because something is good, it may not be good for you. And I know we get caught up in doing all of these things, but hey, there is a time that you have to learn to say, oh, no, I can't do it anymore. So here are a couple of other things that may indicate for you that it's time to realign. And these look like having a sense that something is off, a feeling of being in a rut, or feeling down and depressed, overeating. So we substitute eating for dealing with our real reality, or we begin to drink more, or we become obsessed in anything. We're just doing just to be doing and not being. So most of us have experienced that feeling as we travel through different seasons of our life. In her book, Sacred Rhythms, the author Ruth Haley Barton asked this question, and I really like this, and I had to think a lot about this myself. When was the last time you felt your own longing to live your life as if it is meant to be lived in God? That's something to really think about. But do we take time to just stop and do that? And once again, that gets back to those core values. When was the last time that you felt that longing? A longing that, hey, there is something else for me out there. There is something that I am missing. There is a feeling, or when is that last time that you have felt that sense of healing and a fundamental change growing within you? I believe this is a strong indication that it is time to realign your life. In John 4 of the Bible, which one is another one of my favorite passages, there is this Samaritan woman who has been ostracized by her community, and she arrives at a well to draw water in the heat of the day. We know everybody has talked about her, has ostracized her, and here she goes. She encounters a man that is going to change her life forever. She is in denial of her core values until she is faced and confronted head on. And sometimes that's what it takes for us. We have to be confronted head on. And that's why it's great to have a person that in your life that can be open and honest with you. That may be a life coach, of which that's what I do. The man Jesus gives her just what she needs to become the masterpiece that she was destined to be. So in the beginning, she had a hesitation to even speak to this man. And really, they both could have been in serious trouble because it was not customary for a Jew who was Jesus to speak to this woman who was a Samaritan, who the Jews considered the scum of the earth. So there was no fear there. There was no fear there in stepping out. And so we cannot let fear paralyze you when you are being guided by the Spirit. Because you may rob yourself of an opportunity and your designed future. You will be required to move out of your comfort zone. And this is exactly what this woman had to do. So the woman at the well had to move out of her comfort zone and really face her reality. There was a divine shift, moving from neutral all the way into full speed ahead, into the drive mode. With renewed joy and excitement, the gospel was shared with an entire city through her. And people began to look at her differently because she was excited now. She had a pep in her step. Her heart was singing. She would find out who she really was. And just remember, realigning your life and getting on that journey is a process. It takes time. Again, it's a journey. And a journey has to be enjoyed because you know what the end product is going to be. And so it gets on and on and on. So when we are in alignment, that knot in your stomach, it goes away. And we realize when we are being realistic and being our truest self, we recognize that we don't have to do or to be everything to everybody, but to live in that truth and those values that are yours. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Our next episode will be realigning your life doesn't mean that you have to give up what you are currently doing. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed this episode. The best gift that you could give me is to share this podcast with family and friends. And don't forget to review it. That way, this podcast will grow organically. If you need to reach out to me, please check out my Facebook page, DM me there, or you can email me at godskow@gmail.com. We have upcoming Bible studies that we would love for you to join us in, or if there is a guest or someone that you would like to see me interview on this podcast, please let me know. We are here to work together to realign our lives. Until the next episode, take care, and I look forward to sharing more and more with you as we realign our lives. Peace until next week.